Hi. It does seem like a tree really did jump out and hit me. I swear,
What?
I did not see that tree coming. And it just... I was walking down this long stretch of sidewalk, which I'd walked many times before. And I was looking down. I've taken to looking down quite a bit because, you know, there's all kinds of hazards. We've had huge construction in Phoenix of the streets to get our fast transit, and I've gotten the habit of looking down all the time. Well, I guess I didn't look up because suddenly this tree came out of nowhere. And it hit me in the forehead before I threw me backwards.
I can see it in the police report now. I was assaulted by a tree. Well, was it an adult tree, or was it a teenage tree? What was it? How big was it? Was it 3 feet or 35 feet? What size tree was that sucker? And did
you get a description?
Did it have bark on it or no bark? Did the tree bark at you coming serious?
No, it gave no warning. It did not. It did not give any warning of its presence, at least. So I hit it. It threw me backwards. I was going so fast, I could just feel I wasn't going to be able to stay on my feet. 78 years old, I'm falling.
Listen, before you get into histrionics here, you want me to
I'm 78 years old.
You want me to tell you?
What?
Well, we know you're losing your mind. Yeah, right. It's a sidewalk. I've walked it before. There's a wall here. And on the side of the wall, there are trees that have a tendency to, lean over. And
no, this tree's been planted right against the wall. Beautification.
Well, I know there's another one, right?
And this one tree.
But it's not big.
No, well, most of the trees are, are well behaved. They didn't lean out, but there was one tree on that whole stretch of sidewalk that was way over
And you had to get the delinquent tree, right?
I did.
All the rest
got
of them were pretty pedantic trees.
I hadn't been down that path for a year now. That's my fault. I didn't walk. So I was trying to get my walk in, and I forgot all about that tree being there. I wasn't paying any attention. I was looking down. But anyway, it hit me, and I started pedaling backwards, trying to stay on my feet. And I could see I couldn't. And I rolled right down. And then I could see I wasn't even going to stay on the sidewalk. I was going to roll into the street. I just hoped that people, saw me coming. And I ended up on the street with this big bruise, and some gentlemen stopped. They were pretty alarmed,
Can I ask you?
Can we help you?
What part of your anatomy did you fall on?
Oh, my butt.
Oh, right. Well, see, you could have bounced right back up and been on your feet and just like that, boink, boink, and you're right back up.
I didn't feel any bones cracking or anything like that, and I thought, I think I'm okay. And the gentleman said, can we drive you somewhere? And I said, no. They were young men, they were horrified to find this old lady in the street with their purse scattered and their books and everything she was carrying. And they helped me get up, and I said, well, I don't seem to be hurt too bad. I think I can walk. And believe it or not, I walked back on down the street, but psychologically, I knew
you scarred
that I
for
wasn't.
life.
I am scarred.
You have a trauma now. Now every time you see a twig or a little sprout, you're going
hanging down somewhere. I'm going to say,
you don't even want to get
another
close to
tree.
I can't walk down the street. There's trees on the street here.
My neck is a little bit strained from having my head jerked back so hard. But I came home, and I did not tell him. I didn't tell him last night because, well, for one thing, I was embarrassed. It's hard to admit that you have missed.
Well, no, seriously.
Took a misstep.
I used to be in the insurance business years ago. And one of the adjusters one time, he said, you got to read some of these reports, what people say about their accidents. And the report was, driving down the street and this tree jumped out in front of my car, and I hit it.
Well, that's what he said to me. First thing he said was a tree jumped out and hit you, yes. And I said, well, yes, it did, more or less. You know, I didn't. And I thought, I thought about calling the city and saying, you've got to get that tree out of there.
I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to take the defense of that tree. This tree was not doing anything that a normal tree would be doing. This is not abnormality behavior for a tree. They're just out there growing, minding their own tree business, not going out and doing anything wrong.
Yes.
And you're the one that is now making an allegation that this tree jumped out and hit you.
Well,
for no apparent reason.
And I thought, well, it should, you know, it is a hazard for walkers, but I think that the city feels that not enough people are walking and hitting into this tree.
If you're a tree and there's a walker coming down there with one of those rum, rum, rum saws, you know, you could be pretty damn scared about that, you know? I mean,
yes.
You could think you're going to lose one of your limbs or something like that.
Not even your life.
See, you want to go and take a limb away from this tree. Now
well, they could take the limb away without taking the whole tree, so they've either got to leave it there for ladies like me, 78 years old, to come along and hit and fall into the street.
I have no qualms about renting a chainsaw. I'll cut that sucker right off in a New York minute. I don't have a problem with that, you know.
Oh, yeah, well, and then you'd get arrested. So, people, you know, when you have a bad fall, you know, the day before...
I'm going to call Channel 10, Channel 3, every TV channel while I'm out there saying, this tree molested my girlfriend here. So I'm taking revenge because the city will never do anything about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, here, he and I were sitting here congratulating ourselves how nimble-footed we were, even though we're in an advanced age.
And why do you always keep dragging me into this wee stuff? My God.
And we might
You're
have
older than I am.
We might have reasons why we're impaired, and so you just feel like you're going to live to be 100. You're smarter than everybody. I was smarter than my sister, who fell down, hit her head, and she's wondering if that's caused her hands to go numb. It's going to require an operation, which she can't get yet, or whether it was because she took a pick and shovel. I don't do things like that. I'm too smart to take a pick and shovel out.
Well, no, wait a minute. If I took a pick and shovel to this rub here, I don't think the people who own this building are going to be very keen on that idea.
Well, she was trying to put in a little garden in her backyard, and it was very, very hard. So my sister took this great big pick, and she said even her companion was trying to help her, and when he was resting, she was so anxious, gung-ho, to get this done. And she's 68, so she's just barely starting to age. And she doesn't realize
starting to age.
that she can't act like when she was like 30 and she could do a pick and shovel.
You're talking to a mule that took this couch in yesterday.
Yeah, well, here's another fool. He moved this couch all by himself.
Why do you always
he may be dealing with the effects of moving. How many people in America do you know that have ruined their backs by some lady coming along? Could you help me move this great big old hide-a-bed? Hide-a-beds are the word. I had one.
Oh, really?
And, you know, they can kill a person.
This they can kill a person. Well, that's true. If you make a wrong move, they'll just clomp right on you and eat you like a shark.
Yeah, they will. They will grab you.
Oh.
You'll never be the same again if you attack a hide-a-bed the wrong way. And so this huge futon, he moved it, so just look for him.
Why does it